just on your points. But you can affirm a problem when it comes to that, and then I can posit my own judge. I guess we can have. I'll choose later. I ain't gonna lie. I just want to debate you for the rec. You're gonna affirm a thesis when it comes to the philosophy of sex. So what is that thesis,
Oh my god, bro, let's choose a topic. Or not choose a topic, choose a mutual topic.
bro? Okay, you understand when I debate people in general, like I just do every topic, right? I don't stick to one. It shouldn't matter.
I
So
don't
everyone you've seen me beat, I don't
I
do
don't
that
believe
topic.
that.
I just did it just
I
for
don't
the rec.
I don't believe that.
You can ask
I
anybody.
mean,
Hold on. Wait, hold on. I
there's
literally
a lot
debated
of
Dead Boy on
debaters.
UFC. Like, what are you talking about? Debated Dead Boy on UFC. I fucking debated typical Duff on apophatic arguments about God's
Like
metaphysics.
you
I
can
don't do that shit at all.
debate whatever, but I just don't have no like motivation to believe any of it.
I mean,
I
sure,
get
but
it,
why
man. You
don't you
can
just
definitely
debate him
not be
on a
just
topic then, and you
rational, but
can
okay.
see? I don't really see
Wait,
why
they
you're
didn't
being so
wait,
pedantic about this.
wait, hold on. Didn't we agree to a topic already? We used to debate that. The one in capsule corp.
The topic we agreed. Okay, if it's not philosophy of sex, what was it in Capsule Corp? It really was theism, wasn't it?
I know what was
I can
it.
go check.
That wasn't. You had some Naruto, some shit about Naruto.
You sure, nigga?
I'm about to
Literally,
say.
Oh, yo, bro. Are you very, very sure, bro?
yeah, I
He's
am.
sure. I mean, Ernest is just positing that he can just beat you up on any topic, and you're clearly taking the
Yeah,
thesis. So just like run any topic.
Oh yeah, you
I didn't
said from
propose one. Are
theology.
you
Hold on,
retarded?
you were talking about theism, and then you mentioned crosswords afterwards to switch because you were ducking. Yeah, we can do crosswords. My character can just be a character called, SCP-15525AB4, and it's gonna be beating your character.
Okay, I'll
Oh
just wait.
shit!
Yeah, my thesis is gonna be that your character has no demonstrable
Motherfucker, thesis?
interaction. Yeah, like he has no demonstrable
Look at this.
characteristics
Oh,
to
bro.
interact
Hold
with
on,
my
bro. You
character, so
affirm
without skills in the
props.
game. Yeah,
My
so
character has no demonstrable what to interact with your character.
no spare of influence or like method of interaction to to engage with
Yeah,
my
basically
character. So
you're
it's
just
just like
saying
top
that they don't
down.
even exist in the same sphere of influence. This is the case that it follows that I cannot interact with your character. So number one, when you say sphere of influence, I need to know what that means. Number two, when it comes to interaction,
Yeah,
I'm not even sure the interaction that you posit in your sense actually needs to be applied in the conversation here. I can interact with your character in some so that's gonna be the conversation that you just ethics there and why it's warranted in the conversation. Now, when it comes to us beating each other's characters, for example, I have my own wing con. I can explain that to you, but regardless, I don't grant that seem the case that we need to interact with your character in your sense to even win at all. That doesn't matter. Why can't it be the case that
okay,
we
so
interact in some separate external sense, which can be different from your conception of the concept in general?
I mean, I'll
And
just
also, when it
agree with
comes to
you.
your
I
art,
don't
I'm
have to
not sure
interact
what
with
sound you
you,
said you agree. You said direct. What does direct mean there? How do you quantify that? I
bro.
want to accept it.
Bro, stop the gish gallop, bro. Stop the gish
I'm
gallop.
not just galloping. I want you to prove that as well.
You are, you are.
Wait, no, no.
Uh,
I gave you two burdens. How's that a guess gallop? You want me to start guess
listen,
galloping? I
bro.
can.
Instead
That
of,
was two or three burdens.
bro, stop over talking and let me explain.
I go then.
All right, now for the sphere of influence, what I mean, I don't mean the conflation of like conceptual framework. I just mean an ontological commitment to which your verse, SCP, right, which your verse like it's committed to ontologically in regard to the structural realism or the yeah, like structural realism. I was gonna say that because I'm assuming it abides by some strict, rigid framework that is like all fixed within reference, like stable reference. I was gonna assume it has that, and if it doesn't, then I was gonna need some evidence to contradict or outscale like this conception, right? So that's what I
All right,
mean by
so you
sphere of
just find
influence.
a sphere of
And I'm
influence.
just well, stop over talking me, bro.
You
I did not say. I did not say ontake. Well, I said structural realism
listen,
and ontological
bro.
commitments to them. I said
Yeah,
ontological commitments.
yeah, that's the same word, but okay. Are
But
you done talking, bro?
and I was just gonna say that my character, since it's like within the premise, outscales yours, like it just has no method of interaction, then it's just gonna be the case that mine like outscales this framework.
Okay, so first of all, again, you said sphere of influence is going to be some ontological commitment, such that the verse commits to structural realism. If it doesn't, it's evidence for your review. So I want you to prove it's evidence for your review. Also, when you say evidence, I'm not sure of the conditions you would evaluate to demonstrate what is evidence versus not evidence. Even that's the case, that is true, and that type of conception that it's going to be evidential. I don't grade and it's your position. I want you to argue for that. When it comes to the ontological point and how it's going to be rigid such that it's fixed by reference, yeah. So unless you're positing it's the case that your verse is not fixed by reference and thus things are more loose and clear, I want you to demonstrate that being true. And regardless, that wouldn't really matter. Why can't I be dialethesis? That's what it's called. Dialethesis in response to your points, the information is such that yours obtains and mine obtained, which just means we're going to go incon. Here's a badge for you. And also when it comes to you outscaling my character, when you say your metric for that, why it's going to be adopted, acceptable, and usable here, and why under that metric it's the case that it falls that your character outscales mine. Even if it does, I'm not even sure that your conception is going to give them the conversation right. Why can't it be the case that I assume it's kind of counterfactual to your conception, such that my character some unique sense or idiosyncratic sense, and then derive that my argument is true and dismiss your points that way. Also, when it comes to your inferences themselves, I'm not even sure what anything you said follows. Your premises themselves, I'm not sure why they're true. Give me your theory of truth, why it's going to be explanatory and also precise
My
and virtuous in the
theory of truth.
conversation, and why it's the case that under that type of theory of truth that your premise is going to be true in the conversation, which is false. Now then, when it comes to the argument itself, I'm not even sure if it's the case that
You
your
done, bro?
questions or argumentation actually defeats my point, such that it posits an undercut or a rebuttal. I want you to demonstrate that true and in virtue of my conversation. I'm not even sure
Hello?
why it's the case anything you say actually can apply categorical error towards my point, such that it doesn't apply. You think it's kind of onto commitment,
Yeah, did you die?
kind of mistake when it comes to argument.
Yeah,
And
hello?
also when you say, chill, I'm not done, bro. Chill. Also, when you say reference, your theory of reference, what do you mean by that? And also, how do you know it's the case that you're not mistracking my committing fallacies and equivocating? The argument for that. When it
Yeah,
comes to the argument
what?
itself, I'm not sure why it's the case that key verbs in your argument don't slide in their meaning and thus some semantic instability, which is going to be irrational and thus allow me to dismiss your points. I'm sure I'll give all of that. And also, if you can't respond to my burdens when dismissing your points, you just lose, obviously, what the fuck. And also, when it comes to your character, I'm not even sure if it's the case that your sense or conception of the character is identical to how the character is in the verse. I'm sure argue for that. When it comes to your character and how you interpret them, I'm not sure why it's the case your interpretation is going to be something which is going to be likely in nature, such that it's towards your argument and actually is going to have kind of likelihood or probability assignment, which demonstrates you being likely true. I'm also not even sure why it's the case difference interpretation that's going to be the case that it aligns with the verse itself, so that's going to be coherent. And also, I'm not even sure how it's virtual explanatory. Also, when it comes to you interpreting your verse or the panels within your verse, I'm not sure how you do that. Once you prove that being justified and acceptable here, and why it's the case that theoretically speaking is parsimonious, because if it's redundant, it can be dismissed now. Obviously, 20 points. You're going to respond, bro. Go ahead and respond.
Mumbling. What is
I was
mumbling inherently? You were. Alright,
also, I
go
don't
into
grant it's the case, so it's a material condition to give that justifiably speaking.
Okay, I'm just gonna
Go ahead.
assume that your verse into like where question whether it
I'm against your
violates
assumptions.
structuralism or not. I'm a bro. What the,
Say it again.
I said since we're just assume whether it's evaluating by or like analyzing by structuralism or not. I'm just gonna assume that it goes by
So
like
when you say structural
physical
reason, what does
law.
that mean?
Yeah, physical laws are like the baseline of reality, and all relations are like outstream or upstream from that.
Yeah, so there's some fundamental baseline to reality or upstream from that. But when you say baseline, what are you
That's not what
exactly
I
in
said.
reference towards?
I'm
I want
talking
you to
about
prove
physical
that. Also,
laws.
when it comes to me,
Physical laws.
so when it comes to me
I'm
recapitulating
not
it,
even done.
I'll need to copy you verbatim, so that wouldn't even matter. I'm trying to track the material faith of conversation or the material concepts of your meaning.
Wow.
So I'm not sure why you said that.
It's all you do over talk. It's all you do over talk.
You please stop talking, by the way. And also, yes, you try to slip things in. I'm gonna respond to it. Obviously, what the fuck? But
Slip
here, if
things
you
in.
want,
I'm about to
we can do a
respond to it.
talking stick. It's okay. You can do a talking stick, man. So you go ahead.
Can I explain? Can I explain now? Okay, now what I'm saying, right, by physical laws and like structuralism, is how do I put it? Like championing how do I put this in a way you can understand? So basically, you have like normal rules and non-normal rules, right? And then we're going by ontological commitments or like ontic structural realism. It is going to assume that normal rules are what you're, versus abiding by. And by non-normal rules, I just mean like things like Queen's theory of reference, which I know you mentioned that. So I was by Queen theory of reference, and my verse like fluid. It's like fluid, right? So it's going to validate these like predisposed laws that your verse is presumably abiding by. And that's just going to be my win con there. It's just like you already admitted that. It's not like they don't need to interact with each other. So that's just going to be what That's gonna be what you're addressing to right there. I feel like that also just like goes under everything else you said. So in regards to whether I'm like interpreting the what's it called verse correctly, I'm just going to like demonstrate some skins and to show you that it's like almost 1-to-1 of what I'm saying.
Yeah, is it my turn, bro? You stop talking. I mean, you can go find the skins in the back. Yeah, so I don't know what the fuck word you said, championing, whatever. But you mentioned us having normal reals and non-moral reals, and by ontic structure realism, it assumes, I guess it would assume normal reals, which is what my verse abides by. Well, I'm not sure if that's going to be the case necessarily speaking. I want you to prove that my verse abides by that. I'm not going to be denying it or affirming it. I just want evidence and what the evidence itself which what the argument for. By the way, just clear right for the rec. I mentioned a lot of burden. This nigga has not responded, bro. This nigga is trash, bro. You mentioned some kind of Quinian theory reference. I don't think it's gonna be true and justified here when it comes to your use. So under your account, I can dismiss it. I don't know why you said that. You said your verse is fluid. I want you to prove that. Say it being fluid though. I don't even think that meaningfully exists, right? To be fluid again is going to be individuated, such that this thing is different from other things. That in itself is a stable structure, right? For example, the laws of thought. That would be, for example, the law of identity. That A is A and not B. So if being fluid is different from being strict or more rigid in nature, then it's the case that in some sense it's already stable, logically speaking. So you're not really fluid in a meaningful sense. That wouldn't fucking matter. I don't know why you said that. You said that if your verse is fluid, validate my verse. No, I don't grant that. Once you demonstrate that, also when it comes to validation itself, I'm not even sure that your conception, the way you work it, actually applies in the conversation. Even if it does, I don't grant entails your position. And also when it comes to the way you would even evaluate something being validated, I don't grant it's the case as positive kind of some kind of vicious defeated towards my proposition being true. So I don't know why you said that either. That's pretty fucking retarded. And then when it comes to what you said, why you said this, but you said that's your winning con. I want you to prove it's a winning con. When you say when was that mean? Also, why can't it be the case I dismiss your win con with my win con? Past you,
I already
your argument
explained
is
like
going to be false by
3/4 of
fire.
it.
No, I don't grant that, by the way. So when you say
Yes, I did.
explanation, what is that? I was like, what the fuck? I said, I don't grant that. You said, yes, I did. I don't care what you think you did. What the fuck? You fucking retarded. So when it comes to you explaining things, okay, I want you to prove number one, it's virtuous, prove it's coherent, prove it's not contradictory, prove it entails your position, and prove it counts in favor of being true. So I don't know when you said that. You fucking retarded. Anyways, when it comes to you saying that your winning con is going to be that particular thing, I don't grant that. I think I mentioned earlier why you must argue for these particular things. You said that based on that goes. You think I said no? I don't grant that at all. I don't know why you're assuming that. Also, when it comes to you going against what I'm saying, again, what defeater type are you positing towards the argument? How do you know you're not mistracking the argument? How do you know it's the case that me and you even share the same sense in the conversation, which would not,
Oh,
which
this is
if that wasn't
irrelevant.
true, would lead to you being equivocated when you put that by the way? Why is it relevant? And also, when it comes to the feeder type, again, rebuttal or undercut, tell me what these defeaters are. Otherwise, my argument is fucking retarded.
Okay, for one, the theory of truth is just gonna be truth is just an intersection. That's gonna be my theory. For two, um, point about the Queen's like theory of reference in regards to fluid cosmology. Queen's theory of reference posits like there's like no stable reference, right? So like you can't look at a tree. Like it's not exactly direct or indirect realism. Like you just can't look at a tree and say that it's a tree, right? Like the components that make up the tree or the composition that's out of the tree. It's like no, it's like it could shift at any time, right? That's basically what it is. Like the laws that we go into, like the laws we go into in regards to like what we take for granted, like about causality, they're like completely disrupted, right? That's what it basically means. So if this is the case with my verse, right, and your verse abides with anti-structural realism, then it's just going to be the case, right, that your laws are invalidated. They have no method of interaction or method of outscaling mine, because to assume that your verse like abides by like let's say the Terry system, right? The Terry system abides by structural realism. It's like you can always assume a top. It's always assume a top to it. Because my verse breaks the component. Like you can have whatever makes up the top. Like I believe the bind simplicity makes up the top within the Terry system. In my verse, you can have this like component or composition that makes up an absolute top. It could keep going beyond it because it's like a higher causal system. That's basically just going to be what I mean by Winton. So you go ahead and respond now. I'll just go ahead and get the skins.
What you just said was so fucking retarded. Try to deny hierarchy, but mention things being ultimate or going
I
up.
didn't
You
hierarchy. What?
realize
I
that
didn't.
if it's the
Okay, you're
case,
retarded.
yes,
You're
you
absolutely
did.
retarded.
You said
This
tiering.
comment.
Why are you talking over me? Stop being a
I did
chimp.
not.
You
I did
literally
not.
mentioned
I did
tiering
not
as
deny
something being which is a
hierarchy.
stable fucking retard. If it's a case that you're denying my stable reference, which is going to be the Tyrion system itself, and then posit your view, you're denying my conception, retard. My conception is the Tyrion system. But regardless, that doesn't matter. Because if you're agreeing that your character can be above my character, I presuppose a hierarchy which is in question. Why is it the case that your hierarchy is set over mine, you fucking retard? That's what's in question too. That's what's in question too. Why are you talking over me? Shut the fuck up. Why are you talking over me? Shut the fuck up. Anyways, I'm going back. Darn, by the way, I'm going back to my point. So anyways, you talked about the theory of reference. By the way, I put that theory into question. You didn't track it. Maybe you're fucking autistic. You fucking baboon bitch. Going to be intersection. That's not your only burden when it comes to truth. You don't fucking track. Also, I don't know what the fuck that means. It's intersection. This is connection between two things. If it's the case that that's the case, in my view, intersects my beliefs, such that's going to be true in your account, which just means I can dismiss your points. Bro, what? Bro, what? When you laugh, it's only what about, not when you're lost, you fucking monkey. What are you talking about, bitch? Like, what? This is what trash fiction niggas do. They laugh in the back and pretend they're winning. Nigga, you're fucking terrible, bitch. Everyone in chat, blown the fuck out. You fucking suck, retard. Anyways, you said that if it's gonna be the case that my laws hold to that theory of reference, which is gonna be stable, but yours are fluid, mine are invalidated. Again, I put that into question and how you quantify that and why I should care, why it's adopted, why it's virtuous. You didn't do any of that, nigga. And I don't think anything you said was an explanation. Plus, even when it comes to that, I place more burdens you not fucking track. You fucking suck, bitch. Oh my god, bro. And then you said that it's the case that I want you to. You say it's the case that off of that, it's the case I have no method to even demonstrate your verse losing to my verse. I don't grant that follows. Was he arguing for the kind of factual possibility you fucking read? When we talked about your verse abiding to, or sorry, my verse assumes hearing, for example, and yours doesn't, but rather goes beyond it. That's also what's going to be the question. And when you say beyond, I want you to put that by the way. Also, again, when I recapitulate your points, I don't care what you said verbatim. It's about the meaning, you fucking retard. Do you know how Steelman's work? We interpret arguments in a valuable form. I don't give a fuck about what you think you said. Bitch ass nigga, you're fucking retarded. I want you to prove that. What the fuck? You just keep saying things under your breath, nigga. And your mic is terrible, bitch.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, by the way, hold on, just to clarify, I'm cutting him off because he cut me off and started insulting me. So not being charitable towards your friends. Hold on, yeah, I cut you off. I said and did a talking stick. Then when you finished and I started talking, by the way, I literally said, "Can I please start talking?" You said, "Yeah, for sure." I started talking and you cut me off. I'm being uncharitable towards you, you black fiction bitch. You don't listen, you bald fuck. Stop, nigga. I'm talking retard. Anyways, you said that your verse goes beyond it. No. When you say beyond, what's the quantification? And again, I put a burden on this. Why does anything you're saying actually my verse loses? And why should you even adopt your conceptions or conceptual scheme, you fucking idiot? Because if those things have no warrants, I can just dismiss them and be idiosyncratic towards your argument and derive my argument being true that way. You fucking idiot. You don't listen. You don't know philosophy, conceptual you just say shit. You only read it from D1 and midnight. You're an old pound trash. Fuck. What are you talking about, bitch?
Are you fucking retarded? I literally
terrible. And by the way, I don't grant your assumption at all, by the way.
Are you fucking retarded, bro?
Are you fucking retarded? You're spitting on your word, by the way.
I literally said it was a high quality. That would be the qualification. You did not.
Your mic is fucking terrible. No one can hear you. Also, I did what you probably didn't.
What?
Your mic is terrible. Also, I did. I want you to prove I didn't. Otherwise, I'm dismissing all your arguments and points.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
You made a claim.
I'm gonna pot of devil's proof, so no, I don't have to.
Yeah, prove you can posit that too. Why is that justified?
No, I'm not even just gonna go back and forth over this retarded conceptual framework.
Yeah, this nigga is trash. wait, hold on, wait, what? What did you say? Wait, hold on. Did you say you're not going back and forth with the conceptual framework? Are you sure, bro? Are you sure?
I said yours.
Okay, what is my framework? Go ahead, tell me.
Are you fucking
unlock? Hello? This nigga is trash. You say you don't agree with my conceptual framework. What is my conceptual framework? Because I didn't say if you can't recapitulate it clearly and accurately, not tracking or referring to anything, which just means your sentence is going to be vacuous, and thus I'm dismissing them. Retard, you fucking suck. What is my framework? Tell me.
It's already in the vacuum. What are you talking about?
It's already in the what?
I said it's already in a vacuum.
In a vacuum. What the fuck do you mean by vacuum? Does not address my points. What the fuck? It can be in a vacuum, but I'm asking you, why is it the case that you have an adequate or realistic and precise, accurate conception of my conceptual framework, which will ground you dismissing it?
can we get to the skins? We're not doing nothing.
Yeah.
This is unproductive.
Yes, you're not doing anything, bro. I am.
No, you're
I'm
not.
actually talking
You're
and
not.
placing arguments. I want you to prove that too.
Where
I don't know why you said that. Wait, I can recapitulate how you're being fucking retarded, but you can't do the same.
It is gonna be a failed
You
representation.
fucking suck. By the way, go ahead and prove that.
Skins, bro. So we can move on with the
Yeah,
conversation.
you see how he dismisses every fucking point, bro?
They're not going
Yo,
anywhere.
for the rec, this is what
We get
trash
skins.
fiction niggas do, bro. You bring up all types of
I am
points
not a-
in basic philosophy you can't fucking track. If you want to lose
even
and
not even
leave, go
track
ahead
it.
and lose and leave. I have the rec. I have my content farm. You're talking shit and you fucking lost to trouble. Darn, nigga, you suck. Never in your fucking
I didn't
life
even lose to
attempt to
Trouble.
mention me. You were a fucking terrible bitch. Oh my god, you were trash, nigga. You will deadass lose to Jester. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not like, no true. You lose to Jester and free to goat, nigga. You are that fucking terrible.
Literally everything
Oh
he said is
hell nah! He said you lose
Everything-
to free. That's
Bro,
crazy.
that nigga, oh, that nigga lose to free to goat, bro. What is he talking about, bro? Also, I don't grant it's the case you language itself even is referential, thus not stable in meaning, thus you're equivocating, thus I dismiss your point again, nigga. You fucking suck. I don't grant it's the case you say even tracks my argument. Want you to prove that. I don't grant you can think. And even if you do think, I don't grant it to be justified, such that things to be
But it's
accurate,
not even
to then not
engaging with
fundamentally
the
skew your
thesis
points.
anymore. It's not even
Yeah,
engaging
prove
with
that
the
as well,
thesis
by the
anymore.
way. Yeah, prove that as
It's
well.
not even engaging with the
Yeah,
thesis
prove
anymore.
that.
It has nothing to do
When
with
you
the-
say engaged, I don't need quantification or your theory, your metric, prove that as well.
I'm leaving the
Otherwise,
because
you're
you're not saying anything. You're actually a retard.
That's what's in question. That's what's in question. I'm a
not
retard.
saying
You lost at midnight, by the way. I can't wait. Hold on. I can name every fiction nigga you lost to in 2024. You're fucking terrible, nigga. Like what? You're not rhetorical.
I didn't
That's
even
what low
debate.
tier niggas do. You give
Like, what are you talking about?
argumentation and insults because you can't track. Okay. Name a particular thing I said which wasn't of substance, and tell me why that's the case or why that follows. Go ahead.
I told you I'm not going back and forth with you.
Yeah, there we go, bro. This nigga's fucking terrible.
Like, it is kind of deadlock the
This nigga's fucking
conversation.
terrible. I didn't deadlock it. Wait, hold on.
You are
If the combo is
deadlocked.
deadlocked, it's because of you. You're not responding to my
How is
point. You're just saying,
deadlocked?
are you
I already
retarded?
did.
That's irrelevant,
You're not
dude.
even
That's
addressed.
also what's in question. And even if you
Even
did,
addressed.
quote unquote, even if I grant that, I don't grant it was sufficient. I want you to prove that. So again, nothing you say actually follows or is.
Dude, all you're doing is saying
I can agree to everything
All
you're
you're
saying and
saying-
still dismiss it. When it comes to your argument itself, even if it's sound, I don't grant it's acceptable. So if it's number two being enforced, I can dismiss it again. It just means you're a fucking retard. What's your response
This
to
is
that, bro?
literally the biggest deflection of all time. I mean,
The
please,
biggest what? Say it again.
I said the biggest deflection of all time.
Biggest deflection? A deflection
From the
and how am I
thesis.
deflecting? From the thesis?
It doesn't
What?
act- yeah,
How does
yeah,
it deflect the thesis? Although let me, it doesn't actually engage. Can you prove that? And what is your
Oh my
theory
God.
of engagement? I'm not sure what that is.
My theory of engagement.
Wait, hold on. Keep in mind, by the way, and uncharitable because you started first, not me. I was trying
Bro,
to
you
chill, have a
literally-
nice discussion,
you literally-
but you cut
you
me off and
over-
started insulting me,
over-
saying shit. And also, you always talk.
You did it first. Bro, you literally did it. You literally did it first. Every time.
Are you
cut
lying?
me off
You
first.
have it on the rec.
Well,
No,
we can
nigga,
go
what
back
the
and
fuck?
capsule for you. Literally did it first.
Yes,
You
we're
literally
back
did
in
it first.
Capsule Corp. What the fuck?
Yeah, you talk shit.
What are you going to do in Capsule Corp? Is there a rec in
You said
Capsule
I
Corp,
talked too
retard?
much in chat. Bro, are you fucking retarded? You said I talked shit in chat and said you did it first in capsule corp. Like, what do you not
No,
understand?
I don't know who you are. I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't know who you are. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a retard. I'm
I'm a retard for not knowing who you are, nigga. Ma'am, what are you saying? What are you saying, ma'am? Who even knows you, bro? Does he even know you, bro? I might have forgot your ass. Old that nigga. Grunkle stand that nigga. Bro, I ain't gonna lie. You want to conclude?
Literally, this is a waste of
Do
time.
you want to conclude? Yes, it is.
It's
You're
a
not like it's a waste of time. It's the tear gap. That's my point.
It's not a waste of time.
Yeah, yes, it's a waste of my time. I agree. I'm spoon feeding you, and you still a waste of my time. I agree with that. Can we
Right, you
conclude,
literally
please?
did
This is
nothing
going
else.
nowhere.
You did nothing.
That's also what's in question. This is what this nigga does every time. You make generic negative claims and you can't back them up, bro. I say, what is your theory? What's your quantification? Why is that follow? Why is that true? You say, dude, you're a fucking retard. It seems to be the case that that's also what's in question, retard. It seems to be the case also, even if you did, whether that's the question as well, you fucking idiot. So even if that's true, that doesn't even fucking matter. But it seems to be the case for the whole entire debate. You just say shit you can't defend. You fucking suck. Conclude.
I did defend it.
That's what's in question. That's also what's in question.
Also, what's your Bro,
Do you listen, bro? Do you just question back? Is
Bro,
that your whole quality being a dog shit
Yo,
debater?
man, y'all can, let's get some conclusions. Let's get some
bro,
conclusions.
I'm not even.
And also, based on you not really responding to burdens or adjusting the points, or even being of substance, I can make some
I
inductions
literally
such that
did.
typically speaking can be a fucking retard,
Yeah,
which allows me to dismiss your points via the evidence. It's an induction. So again, you lose to me. You suck. What are you
I
saying,
didn't
bro?
lose.
What are you
I
saying?
didn't lose.
You have an
Oh,
Xbox,
wait,
but it'll be Ted. What are you
Wait,
saying, bro? I can't understand you.
hold on. I gotta ask something to Muna. Muna, I have one singular question. Would
Bro,
you
who even
agree
are
that
you?
every argument? Yeah, I'm the server owner, bitch. Anyways, yeah. So would you agree that everything you've said is gonna be some type of presupposition upon his verse? As within your proposition and in your arguments, you kind of just put a whole bunch of ifs and assumptions. You're fucking potential manning him right now. What are you doing? You look stupid. Holy shit.
And even then, it was dismissed or
Bro, are you
refuted. So
fucking
like, he just
retarded?
says shit.
It's not a
No,
Wait,
wait,
hold
no,
on.
no,
The
no,
whole
no, no,
entire
no.
debate,
How,
I assume, and
yeah, I was
presuming
about to
things
say
follow
it's
from
on
there in
rec,
question,
by the
bro.
way.
It's a base
I'm about to
argumentation.
say,
Like, both of you
bro,
retarded.
it's on rec.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
so I
argument scheme would
assume
you say?
this. I
It's a
assume
base
that.
argumentation. That's what it's called.
Based
Sure,
argumentation?
bro.
No, I don't agree. It's fundamental universally speaking, dismissing that. I don't know why you said that.
Like,
Maybe
sure,
it's
bro.
based
Yeah,
on
we
you
can
because
make
you're
some
a
type
fucking
of.
retard. But if you're actually going to be rigorous and logical and make
I
sense,
can't
it's not
even hear
based.
you if you're talking.
How are you
Yeah,
going to like
yeah.
make some assumptions about his verse and then plan your entire argument on things that you do not know that is true? He could just go agnostic upon every point because
I literally
you've
did.
never
Bro.
even provided any type of substance or evidence to prove these things right. You're rather saying if these things were true, then therefore this would be the conclusion. Also, motherfucker, you don't say a thesis for your character, you say a proposition for your character. Not only are you a dumb fuck who can't make a proper
I
argument,
don't even
but
hear
you
you.
also can't even make a
I don't even hear you.
proper fictional
We know you can't
proposition.
hear.
I
Wait,
literally said I
hold on.
couldn't
Just to
either.
clarify for the rec, even this guy trapped. He kept saying if then. I'll leave question whether or not it's the
I
case he
literally
used the material
did not say
conditional,
that one.
or whether or not it's the case the consequence necessarily follows. He didn't justify that at all or argue for it. He just says shit, bro. What is he arguing for the moral strength of your claims? Tell me.
Wait, what? What you say? My mic is like
Bro,
cutting out.
let's conclude, bro.
It's
This rec is
cutting
over.
out. I didn't hear you, bro.
I'm quite literally sitting
It doesn't
here.
matter
I
because
fact
what I said
everything
was a
better than
repeat of
you.
what I said
Yeah,
earlier.
but
It
your
doesn't
mic is
matter.
cutting out. I literally just said that you fucking retard.
Hey, yo, do you listen, bro? I said it doesn't matter if I repeat it because I said it multiple times earlier, and you
I
still didn't
literally
fucking
said my
try.
mic was
That's
cutting
why it's the
out. Are
point.
you fucking
Wait, your
stupid,
mic is
bro?
cutting out. What is your mic
Yeah.
cutting out to do with your fucking ears, nigga?
Bro,
What?
nigga,
Yo, this
you
nigga is
fucking
trash.
retarded, bro.
This nigga is trash.
Bro,
Hey,
just
bro,
say
save the rec, give it to me. Leave
oh,
posted, bro. This nigga's fucking
I'm
terrible. Fucking
gonna.
Lucario
I
goon.
have a.
You
I
cut down to
saved the
Lucario. You
clip.
fucking suck.
I literally never
You will
said
lose to
it.
Kojo. You will lose to
I
Kojo, bro.
literally